welcome you here to our hour of joy here. 15 AutoCAD tricks in 5 clicks or less. At least I hope. I think most of them are a lot less than 5 clicks, but I'm going to try to demonstrate to you guys here some simple commands that have been hidden for a couple decades. For all those that come back from the DOS days of life, I'm going to resurrect a few commands there that I use on a daily basis. And I hope that after you guys see them, I know that some of the young folk out there might not see them or might not have ever heard of them. So we'll try to highlight them for you. But my name is Bill Newhauser. I'm a registered engineer up here in Minnesota, North Dakota. I've been in the reseller realm for about 15 years now. And prior to that, I was in the consulting side of life up in North Dakota. I've done work in North Dakota, Minnesota, Alaska, and a few other places. But been using Civil 3 pretty much since it came out. Prior to that, AutoCAD since late 80s. So a long time ago, back in the DOS days. So, and that's where some of these commands I'm going to show you actually came from that are still hidden in the background. And again, I use them a lot. So without interruption here, we'll go and continue on. I don't know if this will probably take a full hour, but we'll see what happens here. But I actually got more than 15 tricks. If we have more time, I think I got 20 or 21 tricks here to show you guys here. So this handout, excuse me, this handout I'm showing you here, this is what you're going to get in your email. I'm not going to go through every one of these in the handout here. I'm going to take this, put it off to my side here, and actually walk through it with you. So one of the very first things here, and again, a lot of the stuff is just real basic AutoCAD type stuff. We all know that, Civil 3D and AutoCAD, or Civil 3D runs on top of AutoCAD. So we have access to all the AutoCAD commands. What a lot of people don't know too is that there's some commands hidden in the background that were decommissioned for say, because a newer version of it came out. And so I'm going to show you some of the older versions that you're going to find that are a lot easier accessible from the command or from the keyboard. Okay. And I myself, I always have one hand on my mouse and one hand on my keyboard and close to the hard return button here. But the first one I'm going to show here is a tray setting. And what this one is here is something simple. We all know that we get this bubble pop up, a reminder of something. Okay, in this case, you see in the screen capture, a borrow license reminder. Okay, well, we have an ability to actually set the setting on that and how long it's going to be shown here. So let me pull this over here to my other monitor here. Excuse me. And that is down here. Actually, if you just type in tray settings, TRAY settings, here it pops up, and you have the ability to turn them off completely if you want to, or you can pick on how many seconds do I want to waste my time looking at that thing. Okay, so that's trick number one. Again, real basic, nothing special about it. Okay, let me go over here. My trick number 2 is here. Now, these are some of my favorite. I kind of bring these right off the get-go because there's a lot of them. In the transition in the olden days from DOS to Windows, we eventually lost all the command lines and they put everything on toolbars. Okay, which obviously now we don't even have hardly toolbars anymore. In fact, let me go back to Civil 3D. But the only toolbar we still have, excuse me here. But the only toolbar we still have are these transparency toolbars that are left behind here. Beyond that, everything else is pretty much icons up here. Okay, and so to do some basic AutoCAD commands, you've really got to go searching for them here. For instance, like the move commands, the rotate commands, the zoom, and so forth. Okay, we all know that there's alias for all those. What a lot of us don't know is that there is what they call the minus sign commands. So if I type in a minus here, and command line up here, so I type in minus, and you'll start seeing a list here of all the commands here with a minus sign in front of them. Now, what those typically are is the DOS version or the older version of the current command. Okay, and so like one of my favorites here is the, we all know LA, right? LA. I'm going to type it slow here. LA. That brings up the layer manager. Okay, we're all familiar with that. That's been around for 10, 15 years, or probably 20 years. Okay, what a lot of people don't know, if you type in minus sign LA, That brings up the old layer command on the command line. Okay, you're going like, oh, this looks archaic. Yes, it is. But what's cool about it is that if you want to do some simple things, okay, think about how many clicks it takes to make a new layer. Because I got to type in LA. Okay, I have to come over here. I have to click on the new layer button up here. That's 2 clicks. I got to come down here, give it a name, 01 lines, hit enter. Then I also have to come back up here, click on this button here to make it actually current. And now I can come back here. So what was that, 6, 7, 8 clicks, not to mention probably 10, 15 seconds of time wasted. To whereas if I type in a -sign LA, hit M for make, and then type in 01 text and hit enter. Okay, not only did I make the layer, but I also made it current. So if you come up here and look at the top here, 01 text. Come on back here. There I go, top here. So I made 01 text, and at the same time I made it current. Okay, so again, -sign LA. And if you look on the command line, you've got a lot of different things: make, set, new, rename, on, off, color. Basically every single thing that there is to do for layers is on this list. Now, obviously the downside, you got to remember exactly what to type in for the layer name. So if you want to turn a layer on, you got to know exactly the name, which obviously can get kind of, long. And that's where the layer manager comes to play, because now we know, we don't have to remember all these layers. But again, for some simple stuff, creating new layer, boom, there it is. Okay. Next one here, the purge command. Okay, we've all done purge, right? So back weight, and of course we get just a simple purge command here. Let me restart back up here again. We've all had that happen, right? As soon as I hit enter, I went, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Lately, it seems like the purge command, I'm getting bit by that command more than any other command. So let me bring my drawing back up here. It wouldn't be a demonstration if we didn't have one fatal error. Come back up. Oops, that's the wrong drawing. I'm sorry. I'm going to find out where I put the drawing in. Just a sec here. I'll go ahead and just thought it was one of these, but I guess not. Bear with me for a second here. For some reason, it's not showing me all my files. Let me restart one more time. So let me see the files. Well, I will go ahead and just open up any drawing for what I need to do. Sorry about this, folks. Now I can't, for whatever reason, find the drawing that I was working on. like it disappeared in the face of the earth. So let me go ahead and I will just open up a drawing with something in it here and go start with something. So anyway, careful when you're running the standard purge command. So the purge command I wanted to show you, the -pu, okay, and this the old purge command from way back when. But what's nice about this is that we have the ability, if you type in R for reg apps and hit enter, okay, and go ahead and say no here, this deletes out a registration application. Now, what I've been told by Autodesk, this is the stuff here that causes more corruption in your drawing than anything else. And it's not a bad idea to come out here and run this -pu/R command, like say maybe once a week on your bigger projects. And once I've done that, now a normal number is around about 16, 17 registration apps for what I found. And once I've done that, then I will do usually an audit command. And all I'm doing here is just trying to cleanse my drawing. I want a nice clean. You'll see here, if I have any errors, no, I didn't have an error, so I'm good. I'm good to go again. Okay, so now I would normally save at this stage and continue on running. Okay, so the -pu command is the command line version, kind of like that -LA command. Now, let me go ahead here. Show you here. So another command here is the the vports command. And let's see here, there's a few others. There's -V that I use a lot. Okay, so what's nice about this one, okay, is that, let's say I zoom in over here. And so I type in -V, save 1, go and replace it. Now I zoom over to another part of my drawing here. -V, save 2. Okay, and let's jump over here. -V, save 3. Okay, so what's cool about that is that I can now jump back and forth my drawing fairly quickly here. -V, restore 1, boom. -V, restore 2, boom. -V, restore 3. Again, all command line, all zip, boom, bam, I'm in and out, in and out. Okay, so another cool command here. Again, if you type in -V, you'll see all the commands down here. Okay, and if you do the standard view command, pretty much there's those views that I just saved. Okay, now I can go through this way and restore them obviously too, but again, just another cool little -sign command. So again, -sign, and there you see all the different -signs. You got -pu, v, va, change, the old block command, the old insert command. For those that don't like the new insert command, this is kind of a good way to get back to it. Oh, one of my favorites, -P. I'll show you that here in a sec. That one goes way back. You know, one of the problems we have with the pan command is that it's not specific. I can't say I want to pan exactly 100 feet left or right. Okay, if I go out to a viewport and I go into this viewport and I want to pan exactly, so let's say I've got a view lined up like this and I want to pan exactly 200 feet over. Okay, if I type in -P, pick, turn my ortho on, pull in that direction and type 200, I'm now exactly 200 feet over. Okay, so it's a nice way of panning exactly what you want. So when you're doing a whole bunch of plan profile sheets and you're doing them manually, you're not using the plan production tools. Okay, nice cool way of getting to pan exactly so they're all lined up. Okay, now somebody here, now the next thing I want to show you here too, it's kind of leading here to somebody here that had a chat here. Let me go back, whoops, go back in here. So again, we got the viewports. Now the viewports, it's a -sign command, but let me show you here. And again, we can do it this way. So I can type in single, I can type in dual. Right now, I've got it set up with a dual. So let's go back to a single real quick here. Okay, something I like to do personally, when I'm working on a project, I'm working on plan profiles. Okay. And so I got a plan view. Now to get my profile view, I got to pan back and forth. But instead, if I come up over here and go to my viewport list and I go to say horizontal, and I can take this one down here and put it like this. Now, something else I can do is if I need to, I can do a D view twist. And pick something here, twist 270 and hit X. Okay, now what I've done, I've taken my view and I've torqued it. You look over here, the Y and X, the Y is now to the right, the X is down. But now I'm back to kind of a plan and profile view still. So I can kind of, and then at this stage, I can minus sign view, save that. Okay. And boom, it will restore it automatically with that twist. Okay. So if I go back to minus sign view, restore 2, it took the twist away and I'm back to where I was. So minus sign V, restore 2, that's one of those previous views that I made. And now I got rid of the twist. So that's a viewports command. Design center, trick 6 and 7 here. Yeah, design center, great extraction tool, and also a symbol manager. So if I type in Control-2 on the command line, and wait for it, or if you come up here to the home palettes, it is which way? It's one of these babies right there. This one right here. Okay, that will also activate it. Okay, and there's a couple different things you can do with the design center. Okay, and again, this has been around forever, and it's one of those things that you probably know about it, but if you don't, it's a cool tool. If you do know about it, then you probably already know all the good things about it here. So what you can do here, and I'm just picking on a random file here. I don't know what it is, but if I pick on blocks, it's going to show me all the current blocks in this particular drawing. Now, be careful. If you have a lot of blocks in here, this can take a while to come up. But see, I'm in a totally different drawing here. And if I want to get a block from drawing A to drawing B, boom, I go to drawing B, find the block, right click here and say insert, and now it's into my drawing. Okay, a great plagiarization tool. I can go to layers, do the same thing, highlight the layers, right click and say add. Okay, layouts. I can right click and add the layout to the current drawing. This is a real good way for a company that's creating standards for like so your plot settings. Okay, and you got all your paper layout settings all pre-made and ready to go. Put them all in one drawing. Use Design Center to go and extract them into your current drawing. Okay, real simple tool. So you got line types. Somebody sends you a drawing, got some really cool line types in there. You're going, oh man, I'd love to have those. Well, just go open up the drawing, go to line types, right click, add. Okay, so you see all the different things here you can extract from other drawings. Now, the other thing you can do here though, and I don't know if I got a good folder here, but if I have a folder with a whole bunch of drawings in it, let's see if I can just find something with any kind of drawings in it. You can literally right click here and say create tool palettes of blocks. And what this will do is that if I have 50 blocks in here or 50 drawings, to say all of our street details, okay, maybe our manhole details, and we get them all separated into a separate folders. Okay, I can right click on that folder, say create tool palette of blocks. It's going to go out in these two particular drawings here, make a new tool palette, and it defaults to the name of the folder. Okay, and then I'll have a tool palette made with all those blocks in it. Okay, so simple tool here, simple way of creating symbol managers. Nice symbol manager. So let me close this down. Next here is, and this kind of leads into somebody here's chat here that brought up, is that we have what they call the command alias editor. Okay, I myself, way back in the olden days, there were some commands that were, C used to be copy. It's now by default circle. Okay, and it's one of those commands that you use constantly. And to save clicks, think about this. I don't like typing CO. I'd rather type in C, but if I type in C, I get circle. Well, using this particular command here, which is up here under the Express Tools, Command Aliases. Okay, if I type in C, it'll take me down to my C's. You see here, I've already done this. Okay, and what you do is you'll type in C, hit Edit, and it was set to circle, but now I changed the copy. So you just change it to the command that you want and click OK. Okay, now once you've done that, I'm going to come back to it. It's kind of a little weird bug here, and go and click OK again. It disappears. It doesn't. I have to make sure I hit OK here for it to confirm the changes. Now, what I have done, I've added in a few old commands. Now, we've all probably know that there is a layer freeze command, a layer off command, a layer on, layer make current, and a bunch of little layer commands. I myself, back in the olden days, we used to only have to type in LAZ to freeze a layer, or LAF, or L on all, layer on all, or layer set, or layer make current. Okay, so what I have done, I've gone back into here. I type in LA. Okay, LAS has been changed to something else. So what I'm going to do, edit this, and that is layer make current. And go ahead and say yes, replace it. Now it is now set to that. So layer Z, LAZ is layer freeze. If I got layer on all, yep, layer on all, let's turn them all on. And then the last is LAF is one I usually do too. Okay, I'll do that. Type in add LAF layer off. And again, click OK here, say yes. And now all that did, FYI, is, if you look at the very top, is that is editing the old AutoCAD PGP file, okay, which is somewhere on your hard drive. Okay, so it's going out, grabbing it, editing it, and overwriting it. The downfall of this, just keep in mind, if you have to do any kind of a reinstall of AutoCAD / Civil 3D, or do a secondary reinstall, or reset the defaults, this file might get overwritten. You might have to do this again. Okay, might not be a bad thing that once you've done this, go out and make a copy of this, put it somewhere safe. So after you have done a reinstall, you can come back and just overwrite that AutoCAD PGP file. Okay, that's pretty much all it is. So now if I come out here and type in LAZ, okay, I freeze just that one particular layer. Okay, undo, bring it back. But anyway, so let's continue on here. So again, that's tricks 8, 9, 10, 11. Continue it down here. Next one is the AutoCAD map cleanup tool. Now, the sad part is I had a really good example here, and I might still do it. Bear with me for a second here. I'm going to freeze my corridors that I have in this particular drawing here. Freeze off some of these extra layers. I don't care for them. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to explode, just because I'm living dangerously here. I'm going to explode all this. Let's see here, that exploded. I think that all exploded on me. If I have another fatal error, that will be the time to have it. Okay, so what I'm going to show you here is that over here in the map, so if I change my workspace down to planning analysis, if you don't already know this, this is the AutoCAD map workspace. Okay, over here under tools, under what they call the drawing cleanup, cool little tool here. Okay, you can set this up to specify what do I want to clean up. Okay, I'm going to clean up the whole drawing. The heck with it. I'm going to be daring here, do the whole thing. And what I'm going to clean up with is I hit the next button here. This is all the cleanup actions I can do. Delete duplicates, erase short objects, break crossing objects, extend undershoots, apparent intersections, snap clustered nodes, dissolve pseudo nodes, blah, blah, a whole bunch of cool stuff here. Zero length objects, okay? We've all had this happen, right? We have these little dots on the screen. Every time you zoom in on them, They're just a dot, okay? Well, they're zero length objects is what they are, okay? Well, stuff like that, we can put it on the list here and tell it to go out and find them all and get rid of them, okay? And that'll be the next question. It would say, what do we want to do with them? So I'm going to say here, delete duplicates. And I was going to do this one, but I'm not because my sample here has changed. But you see here, erase overshoots. Okay, if you don't know what that is, that's like if you got two lines that are supposed to come to a T, but the T line continues through. It's just a millimeter too long. Okay, this will trim those off for you automatically. And under this one here, will extend the undershoots. So if you have a T, but if you zoom way in, you get that little teeny tiny gap. Okay, this will extend them for you automatically. Now keep in mind that length of that line just change. So if it's supposed to be a certain length, you got other problems, okay? But this will close everything up. This is kind of handy sometimes for stuff where you're trying to do a lot of poly lines. You want the poly lines to close, okay? The undershoots, the crossing objects and stuff like that. The other one here where it will break crossing objects. So if you have two lines that cross, it'll actually break both of those at the crossing point and add vertices there, okay? So I'll go ahead and click add. And I'm gonna hit next. And it says here, okay, how do you want to treat the objects being cleaned up? You want to modify the original objects, retain the original objects, create new ones, delete the original objects, and create new objects. You know, what do you want to do? So I'll leave it a default here. And then down here, convert selected objects. You want to take all the lines and turn them into polylines, all the arcs and turn them into polylines. You know, what do you want to do? I'll just go ahead and finish here. And it's going to run for a little bit here. Now, I don't know what it did until I hit F2 and I look in the command line. So in our case, it modified 7 objects and it created 5 new ones. The problem is it doesn't tell you what it did, okay? But based upon what we did there, normally what I like to see here is that sometimes this was like 5 lines and now it's only 1. So I had lines on top of lines on top of lines. Okay, so I get rid of them all. So again, that's just up here on the map, draw and clean up, and pick on what do you want. And you can manually select. So if I only want to select a small area, I can do that too. Okay. I can also pick by layers. I say, well, I only want stuff that's coming off of these certain layers. Okay. So, and again, you have all these different objects. Okay. Or, actions, I should say, you can do. So, all right, next one here. A little trick here that actually many eons ago, for those, I don't know if you guys remember, there was I think it was Cadence or Catalyst, but there was an article in there called Hot Tip Harry, and he always asked for hot tips. And I sent this tip in one time. It got published way back when, probably back in the 90s. But what this is, so if I come up to Layer Property Manager here, and I pick on, so let's just say I'll create a new filter. And I'll call this everything with a C in it, asterisk. Okay. And I didn't give a name, just got the default. Okay. Now, if I come over here, whoops, kick back out here. If I come over here and I say create new layer, it gives you an error. It says, oh, hey, new layer was created that does not match the current layer filter. So you're like, oh, shucks. Now I got to go up here, come back over here, go find layer, wherever it might be, right? Alphabetical, right there. There's my layer 1, or actually it was probably layer 2 I just created. Now I got to highlight it, and now I got to change it to, whatever it is I want. Okay, a lot of clicks there, right? Well, if I had just included layer asterisk as one of the filters, okay, now when I click a new layer, boom, it creates a new layer. Now I can call it whatever I need to call it, and I'm off and running. Because the handy part about staying in the filter when you're making a new layer is that you can see exactly what the type is, what the text is supposed to be in order to match that criteria. Okay. So cool, simple, little, nothing special about it, but it works. Okay. Next one here. Okay. I don't know if people have noticed this in the past, but now I do a lot of layer filters, as you can see here in my templates to kind of keep track of stuff. I always tell everybody, you know, if you look down here, yeah, I got 501 layers, but I don't look for the layer. I look for the filter that it might be in. So if I go down here to utilities, storm sewer, storm proposed, okay, now I'm down to 13 layers. Now I'm going to find what I'm looking for. Okay, well, how do I get this out of here? This list, I want to share it with somebody else. Okay, share it with another drawing. Well, up until about 17 or 18, we're not really sure when it happened. Somebody at Autodesk decided to remove, okay, these commands. If you go back here and look at the screen capture, there is some commands here, or little icons that are no longer here. Okay, well, the commands are still there. And for those that want to, if you go to this link, it was discussed lengthily in length on Autodesk, and there is a permanent fix. Okay, some reg edit you can do that will bring back these icons. Okay, but for those that just want to type it off the command line here, we have here the layer save filter tree and the layer load filter tree. Okay, what this really means is that this is how do I export, and this is how I import. Okay, so if I go to the command line here and I type in a layer load, wait for it here. Make sure we had the right one here. So I want layer save. I'm sorry, layer save filter tree. Boom, it's going to come up and give me a place. Let me browse out to some place and I can give it a name. Okay, so it's going to go in. I don't want to go there. I want to go somewhere else. Let's just go to my desktop for right now. So test, save. Oh, never mind. Right here, save. Okay, now if I do layer, and that was load filter tree. Now the problem, keep in mind here, if I load, it's going to blow away whatever I have and replace it with the new stuff. Okay, which is okay for what I'm doing here. But so now I can now load what I just exported, and I should be back to where I was, which means nothing should have changed. Okay, so again, one of the little simple things here. I did come across out here, and I'm about to show you here in a little bit here. There is up here the feature apps. If you connect to the App Store and do a search, somebody did make a nice little permanent utility that basically does all that from the command line. Okay. Next one here. Now this one's gonna be a little harder to do because I don't have the sample in here, but let's just label something here. Just gonna do a dimension here. And nothing special. Oops. Okay, so I do something like that. Okay, well, what we've got here, we got a couple commands. We got dim space and the dim jog line. Okay, the dim space, what it does, it takes these, you know, when we lay these out, they all get kind of weird looking and not really looking pretty. And the dim space will actually evenly space them out. So dim space, pick the baseline, select the dimensions, or oh, I'm sorry, do it again here. Window mall, and I can do auto, or I can actually type in a value, and I don't know what will work here, so I'll just type in 10. Okay, that wouldn't too bad, but they put a 10 spacing between each one of them here. Okay, cool little, nothing special, but hey, it works. Now the next command here, show you, is the dim jog line command. Okay, what that one does, it puts in that little, you know, the looks like your heartbeat command, right? So dim jog. Look, let's get back to command line here. Dim jog line. Pick it. Pick where I want to put it, and there it is. and you can move it around after the fact. Okay. Again, one of those cool little tools. You're going to use it a lot? Probably not, but when you need it, hey, it's there. Couple more here. Now this one here, let me go back to a single viewport here. And I don't remember if I got a pond in here or not. I might. Okay, I am going to, I got a pond here, and I do believe, go back to civil. And tool space. Okay, I've got a couple ponds here. I think I have pond 2 in here. So what I'm going to do here real quick. Now we all know if we come up here and say surfaces, create surface, I can create an earthwork surface, okay, and do my earthworks off that surface if I want to. Or I can come up here to my analyze, which is right here, and I can do my volume dashboards, okay? Either way to get my volumes, okay? Well, on the command line here, we have here report, right here, report surface volume. So report surface volume. And it's going to allow me to basically kind of create a volume surface, but not create a volume surface. So pick on my existing ground, pick on my pond, and there's my cut and fill numbers. Now, what just happened here, this is all internal. It didn't actually create a volume surface. If I come over and look, there's nothing new here, okay? So it's just a real quick way of getting volumes without really adding anything to your drawing here. You can do some other stuff here, create a new volume entry from surfaces. So this would actually turn on, and I believe actually create a new surface. But now, so that gave us, quick down and dirty. Now the next one here, I'm actually going to create a surface this time, and I'll call it Earth Works. Change this to 10 volume. Change this to my base surface, e.g. My comparison surface would be my pond. I believe it's pond 2. And I don't need to see it, so I'm going to turn it off visibly. I just know it's in this area. Okay. Now, if I do a simple rectangle here, okay, now the next command I'm going to show you here is the report surface bounded volume. Okay, so report surface bounded volume, and it says select the surface. So I hit return. It's that new earthworks one. See the different icon there? I can tell that's an earthwork. Pick that area, and there is my cut and fill within that area. Pick the other one. There it is. I bring it command lines. I can actually see it here on the command lines. So just a real quick, simple, boom, how you get at it. That's it. You can cut and paste from here and put into whatever you want. Okay. Next one here. This one here kind of jumps outside of the Civil 3D realm a little bit in a way, but I always get these questions here. Is people are always talking about state planes. Well, there's a website that I found many years ago. If I hit Control and click, this will take me to it. And basically, it shows you all the state plane coordinate systems in the United States here. And you pick on your state. And what's nice, it tells you a little more information. It tells you what counties are actually being referenced in these zones. Okay, we all know we go into Civil 3D, we see North Zone, South Zone, Central Zone. We're all going like, I guess by golly, which one is that? Okay, well, if I know what county I'm in, I can use this to come out and find out exactly what zone I need to be in. Okay, again, just nice, sweet, simple, nothing special. Okay, but that's that one. Last but not least, actually I get two. Trick number 20. And this is going to talk about those feature apps. And let's see here. I've got some questions here. People are asking me if I could post these links out. You guys will get this file, and this file will have these links in it. Okay, so if you want to get it some stuff here, you'll see it in there. Anyway, okay, so let's go back into the feature app ribbon. Now, what that is, if you come up here to the add-ins, or no, right place. That's not it. Yeah, right here, feature apps. I'm sorry, feature apps. Okay, and you click on this over here, connect to the App Store. This will take you out to the wonderful world of Autodesk. And there is a zillion feature apps out here. Some are free, some are paid, some are cheap, some are expensive, you name it. They are probably out here somewhere. And this list is getting bigger and bigger and bigger as we speak. You click on civil, you can see all the different stuff out here. I have found if I go to Google and do a search, sometimes it actually brings me right back to here. But you'll see here, this trial and the costs are over here. And it's just, God knows what's out here. Just a whole bunch of stuff. So before I try to go program something or have somebody internally do a program for me, I will usually come out here first and do a search and see if I can find it out here. But you see here, we got 14 plus pages of stuff just for the civil realm. You can click on what version of the software. You want to click on the free, trial, paid, etc. Here you go. So again, that is back over here under the feature apps and connect to, and then you can see here, they got some of these, I don't know if these people are paying to be up front here, but you get some here that you can pop right onto and start looking at. Now, you'll have to go through them and they'll explain to you how you add them to your system. Try to do either a net or what is it, a menu load or a load, net load, whatever it is, but they'll explain to you how to load them in here. Okay, last but not least, one of my favorites, I'll end this out. I know we probably all know this, but it might be, how should I say, it might be old news. But if you grip on stuff, we all know if we grip on something, we can stretch it all day long, right? Turn off my ortho, turn on my ortho, stretch it all day long. Well, what a lot of people don't know is that if I grip on something and hit the space bar, your command will change to now move. Hit it again. Pick on it again. Space bar, move, rotate. Okay, I can rotate there. Again, pick, space, rotate, now scale. I can now scale it. Okay, so a lot of cool little things there. So scale, mirror, you get the mirror command. Stretch, that's what we're normally used to. And we're back to where we were. Okay, so again, I'm assuming you probably all know about this anyway, but some people might not. So pick, space, pick what you want, and you're off and running. So anyway, I will, again, you'll get an email with all this stuff posted on it. You will get this documentation, lovely, colorful documentation I made using Word, nothing special. A bunch of screen captures here. And you should be off and running. Hopefully, I've saved a couple clicks for you on a daily basis, maybe. I tell everybody, don't use your left hand to prop up your head like I'm doing right now. Put it on the command line, on the keyboard, and your life will be a lot faster. And you'll be better off in the process. But anyway, well, thank you, everybody. We'll go ahead and shut this down. And we're a little bit early, not too bad. But have a great new year, and everybody stay safe and sound. Thank you again.